Hi everybody, thank you all for coming out today, and I implore you to keep coming out, not just for our queer and trans communities, but also for the Palestinians and our own Indigenous and Torres Strait Islanders communities. Please be here tomorrow, not here at Queen's Gardens, for our Solidarity with Palestine rally. There cannot be trans and queer liberation until there is liberation from all aspects of colonialism. In 2014, I admitted to myself that I was transgender. I had known since before I had the words to articulate it, and when I found out that there was already a word that existed, it was a slur. I was terrified. Growing up, the depictions I had seen of people like me were not kind. I was taught from a young age that people who felt the way I did were grotesque and deviant. Trans women in media were only ever represented as the butt of the joke or the literal horror villains, and trans men and other gender diverse identities had no representation at all.
Shame!
Shame. In 2016, I made an attempt on my own life. Many of us have. The fallout from this left me homeless. A peer-reviewed study has shown that 49% of trans and gender diverse Australians have had at least one attempt on their own lives, and we are only the ones who have made it through to tell our stories. This number is over 3 times the national average. In 2018, I came out to someone close to me for the first time, and I was met with love and acceptance, and I committed to living. Then, in 2019, I began navigating the trans medical system. I had absolutely no idea where to start or where to go, but luckily, through connecting with the community, I was recommended a healthcare professional who was able to provide informed consent. And I was refused. I was told that I was already feminine, and that if my dysphoria got worse, I could always have facial feminization surgery or a breast augmentation. Neither of these are currently included on Medicare.
Shame!
After months of begging, I was eventually referred to the public system. The wait lists are long. I continued my social transition without affirming care. In 2020, I was verbally harassed in public for my transness for the first time. In 2021, I was physically assaulted for my transness for the first time. A lot more happened that year. I found out the total costs of the surgeries which were being spoken about before today. And it would take me many, many, many years to save for, even in my privileged position, having a strong resume and an able body. In many states in Australia, having affirming surgery is a prerequisite for having your gender marker changed on official documents.
Shame!
Shame. My birth certificate still says male. That year, I was raped for the first time. My body didn't feel like my own again. I faced discrimination in finding employment, and faced significant medical costs, and so as many others do, I resorted to sex work. For many women, this is an empowering experience. But for those of us who are already vulnerable and with no other options, empowerment is lost. Because of the current laws and stigmatization of sex work, I was faced with more physical and sexual violence. In 2022, CT scans found several small tumors in my brain. We don't yet know whether or not they are malignant, and I don't want to die anymore. I don't know if I have enough time to save surgery. Only last week, it was announced that the Department of Health is considering adding these surgeries to Medicare. This might be my only hope, and this recommendation has to pass. My story is not special or unique. There are trans people in this crowd with stories far sadder and full of hardship than my own. And there are many more who aren't with us today because their stories were cut short. And this is preventable. Affirming care and surgeries can be added to Medicare. The media can stop fear-mongering, and we can be allowed to exist. In 2023, there have already been over 300 trans and gender diverse people murdered across the globe that we know of. A shame. The majority of these were trans women, and a further majority were trans women of colour. The youngest was 16. In 2023, I'm still here, and I'm still trans. In 2024, you will all still be here, and you will still be trans. We have always existed, and we always will, and we cannot be oppressed out of existence. Just this year, we have seen the Nazis saluting steps of Parliament during an anti-trans rally. A 7-news spotlight full of dangerous rhetoric, and over half of us have directly experienced some sort of violence. The media would have you believe that the conversation should be about bathrooms, sports, and whether our existence is appropriate for children. But what we want is clear. Affirming surgeries added to Medicare, no barriers to transition, safety for our queer kids in school, the ceasage of media fear-mongering, and protections in the workplace. Please stop killing us. One more time for Ellie. Folks, we have just 2 speakers to go, so let's use up all of our remaining